So, you're the tech founder who has moved past idea, you've moved past pitches, and you are in the building stage of building your prototype, but there's something else missing. And today we're talking about that missing piece, okay? And that is going to be focused on partnership. So, come on into the Executive Innovation Show. I am your host, Chevy, and let me close this out. And come on in, say hello, let me know what you're doing. As I stated, I am Chevy, and as your federal execution partner, I work with tech founders like yourself who wants to gain federal opportunities through qualified proposal and core partnership without sacrificing your time and capacity. And I do that through SBIR and federal innovation grants. So if you're like, hey, I'm building something, I'm looking for support, I'm looking for partnership, come on in, say hello. And if you're new here, drop a 1 in the chat. Drop a 1 in the chat if you're new here. And if you are my OG, as always, I like to encourage anyone who is joining me here live or later on, if you're watching this #replay, I want you to drop in the chat who you are, what you do, and where you're joining from, because you never know who may be watching this later on that will potentially reach out to you or utilize your services, because what I do, part of what I do and support tech founders with, is helping them to gain those opportunities with, making sure that we submit quality SBIR proposals and federal proposals, grants, but also making sure that they are able to bring in aligned partnerships, which is what we're going to be talking about today. You're missing the right partner. So welcome, Chanel. Thank you so much for tuning in from New Jersey. How's the weather there? I know it has been snowing throughout the East Coast. So I'm about to say, let your girl know. Let me know in the chat, y'all. But come on in. So as I said, as a founder, you are a builder. You are a doer. You are creative. You're ambitious. You're driven. You're all the things. And when it comes to developing something, having that idea, you are going to execute. But the challenge that I see that a lot of tech founders, whether it's through a conversation, whether it's through serving them, they're looking for the right partners. They're looking for the right support. So we're going to talk about that today. Chanel said, it is very cold and still a lot of snow out. Ooh, my daughter will love that. She will love to see the snow. And even today, she's like, how come there's snow here in good old Alabama? But we did not receive any. But yes, as I was saying, so as a tech founder, you are constantly working, you're constantly putting out things, and you're constantly doing a lot, but you are in a phase where you're building that prototype. And again, this is not something that I'm just throwing out. These are conversations that I've had with founders that I've served, but also founders who are looking to potentially bring me in to help them to submit, merit-worthy proposal, qualified proposal, but also identify core partnership that can help them get to that next step. So currently right now, you're in a state where it's like, okay, here's where I'm at with, I'm laying out and building out my prototype. And I know there are innovation funds out there, whether that's, SBIR phase 1, depending on the agencies, which, I can definitely talk more about that. But you're at a point where you're like, okay, I'm stuck and I need traction. I need resources. I need additional support, because you already have your team and their hands are full. Your hands are full. So you're in a place now because you know that, okay, I need testing to be done. Like, I need to start testing. I need to start seeing if this specific thing that I am creating works. Okay. You're looking for validation path. You're looking to make sure that, does this thing works? Does it make sense not only to me, but potential buyers as well? And you're looking at what funding can I tap into without potentially having to pay back, or maybe through partnership. So you're looking at different ways of how you can move this thing that you're building along the path, along the journey to get to the end goal, which is to the market. Okay. So things may feel a little hard, maybe a little bit stressful, a little bit overwhelmed for you right now, because again, you're still serving clients, you're still supporting organizations, but also you're still have this purpose of building this thing that you are building, and you're going to push through. But I want you to understand, you don't want to push through and get to the point where you are mentally drained, mentally burnt out to the point where you cannot even finish your prototype. Okay. Because I know you're a go-getter. I know you're ambitious, you're driven, you're all the things, and I know you can do it, but I don't want you to continue to do it at the expense of your well-being as well too. Because as tech founders that I've worked with, had conversations with, you all are on the clock almost 24/7. Okay. But we don't want you to operate. I don't want you to operate in that space because I want to make sure that you have the resources, whether that's the financial means by applying for phase one, cyber phase one, whether it's identifying the right partnership, because that is going to help you to really shift how you move forward to getting your prototype to the market. Okay. So your idea is not the gap, because you already have that. You already, built, you started to build that thing. What the gap is the bridge between you and that next thing that's going to create your momentum. And that is having the right partnership. And this is something that I focus on, that I've supported clients with and continue to support clients with as they hire me to work with them as their consultant or the person to execute on their behalf. So partnership is going to help you cross that finish line. Okay. Partnership is going to help you cross that finish line that you know that you are ready to get to. So type partnership in the chat for me. Okay. But it's not just any partnership, friend. It's really about making sure that you bring the right partnership in. And you're going to have people who may be one, who would love to be a part of your process, your project, but they're just looking at the financial gain of that, which is nothing wrong with that. But for the people that I support, they want to make sure that the partners that they are bringing in not only bring the financial aspect of things, but they're bringing other additional resources, their mind, their thinking, their strategies, their team, their connections. So when I look at potential partners to aligned with you as a founder, I look at those qualities. I ask, what qualities are you looking for in that partner? Because we're building a relationship here. And we don't want to just bring anyone into the space that may cause chaos. Okay. We want to make sure that that person is able to flow and connect. And I bridge that gap for you. So when you bring the right partner in to help you, it takes, the work to the next level. It takes your project to the next level. My nose. It takes your work to the next level because they're not taking over your work. They're helping you to elevate that prototype. It's helping you to get through that agency door, because again, now you're showing that agency that we have a partnership with this specific organization, this business that is already at this level. So now your business and their business is now like, it's like, this big ball, like we're here to support, like we're stretched, and we have the capacity, because again, having capacity is also going to be essential for when you submit that phase one proposal. So that's why you want to make sure that you are bringing in the right support. So maybe right now you don't have the right partner and you are questioning like who is out there here on LinkedIn, here in different sectors and different parts of the United States or wherever, who can actually support you on this journey. Okay. So for me, it's about bringing in the right partner, and you want to make sure that you are bringing in the right partner for your next level of making sure that this prototype have the support that it needs to get to point A, point B, and point C. And that first part is getting through the door, getting through that cyber door, phase one, because we don't want you to do all this work. And then when you get to that door, they're looking at, the reviewers are looking at, well, this package is nice, but it doesn't have the meat that it needs to make sure that we believe that you can execute on what you're saying. So having that right partnership is going to solidify and increase your opportunity to get approval. Again, it's all going to be based on the topic. It's going to be based on what the agency is looking for. Also, it's going to be based on the current need of that specific agency that they're looking to meet. All right, so we have a comment by Chanela, and thank you so much for the comment. And she says support is not only vital, but it is necessary in having someone that is very informed to be in that support capacity. It is your best asset because it reduces stress and strain and can really speed up your process if you know how to make this happen 100%. And I want to pull out some key things that you shared, Chanel. So thank you for sharing that. Right now, most founders are stressed, okay? Because there's timelines, there's team support, there's maybe you have investors as well too. So you're under a lot of stress. So when you bring in that right partner to support you, because they're not taking over your project, as I said, they are supporting you. Okay, it's going to reduce your stress. That means it opens up your ability to really think clearly, okay, and make decisions more effectively because now you have a clearer path, a clearer sight to see what's truly in front of you. So you can strategize, execute, and do what you need to do. Also, your process is speed up. Okay. So love, love, love that. Thank you for sharing, Chanel. Appreciate that. So as a founder, if you know that you are building this item, this prototype, and you see the vision and you have the vision of how this can support the US as a whole, and you know that what you're building is transformative, it's going to impact the economy, it's going to create jobs, it's going to impact the environment, dependent on what you are building, because it has to meet certain criteria in order for it to be bunched into the category of cyber. Okay, so if you are at this juncture right now of saying, Chevy, I have something, it's not an idea, it's already something that I'm already flushing out, then I invite you to reach out to me. Send me a DM with the word partnership, because you might be at a place where you're stuck and you're looking for that next step of guidance, but also you're looking for the next step of someone to go out on your behalf and identify key partnership that is in alignment with where you're at and where you're trying to go. And you're looking for someone like myself to bring that person to you, that potential partnership, and you to have that conversation. Because these are things that I've done for multiple clients already. And it is when I bridge the gap and bring that partnership, it is up to you to close those opportunities. I'm there to guide you. I'm here to make sure everything is set up. I'm here to give you insight on that specific company and what they're doing and how it aligns. But also, you have to do your part. So if you are at this current state of your business where you're looking for someone that you can rely on, someone you can trust, someone who can go out and support you on your behalf and identify partners who are in alignment, then I invite you to reach out, because it's about finding the right partnership for you to get that prototype into the market without wasting more time, more energy, and more momentum. Okay. So if you're watching this later on, hashtag replay, drop in the chat, hashtag replay, and also leave a comment. If you are the tech founder who is like, here's where I'm at, and here's where I'm trying to go. Or maybe you like, hey, I'm researching cyber right now, but I have no clue how to proceed in that space. Then I want you to connect with me. I want you to connect with me so that we can have a conversation. I can see where you're at and see if I can support you to understand that space, but also to tap into those opportunities as well. And I know things are bumpy in the gov space, but when it comes to innovation, I believe Chevy, I believe that when it comes to funding, we find a way. When something is truly needed and essential and is critical to mission security, the United States as a whole, innovation is needed. It was in the military, it's needed. So I truly believe for the United States, innovation is needed. We all have the technology, AI going on, all the different things so for me, I understand that things shifts, things are removed, but also things are put back in place. Okay. So don't think that there's no opportunities. There's still opportunities for you to tap into the federal space when it comes to applying for your first phase one SBIR. So if that is you, if you're that tech founder, you are building, you have something that you believe it's needed in the market, reach out to me, send me a DM. And again, let's find you the right partner. I want to thank Chanella for being here. Thank you for joining, but also thank you for sharing your insight as well. And I am Chevy. I'm here every Wednesday. You can also find me on YouTube at the Executive Innovation Show. Go ahead and subscribe to that as well. And as always, I am your federal execution partner, and I work with tech founders who want to gain federal opportunities through qualified proposal and core partnerships without sacrificing time and capacity. And I do that through helping them to submit phase one SBIR proposal through innovation grants, federal grants, but also through making sure they identify the right partnership to them. So as your federal execution partner, BD consultant, facilitator, and author, I want to wish you an amazing Wednesday as always. And don't forget to join me here next Wednesday. Share this live with a friend, a tech founder who is in the place where they feel stuck and looking for the right support and right guidance to step into the SBIR space as well. Have an amazing day, and thank you all so much for joining, and see you all next Wednesday.